For the content to go viral, it needs to tell a story.
I think this ad is hot garbage. Welcome to Political Experts React, where we break down political ads in media, explain what the people behind them are trying to accomplish, and decide whether or not they did a good job. I'm Dan Pfeiffer, former communications director for President Barack Obama. Today we're going to look at some of the ads that sunk Dr. Oz's campaign and helped Jon Fetterman win a huge victory in Pennsylvania. Our first guest is my friend Tanya Somanader, who served as the director of digital rapid response in the Obama White House.
My father taught me how to handle my first gun. I taught my son Oliver how to do the same. I've been shooting and hunting my whole life. So when people say I won't support guns, they're dead wrong. Boom! Other conservatives know that I'm strong on the Second Amendment. Ted Nugent, Rick Perry, President Trump. But our Second Amendment is not just about hunting. It's about our constitutional right to protect ourselves from intruders or an overly intrusive government. So as your next U.S. Senator, I will fight for our constitutional rights.
I think this ad is hot fucking garbage.
I think this ad was Oz trying to be like, I'm a person who's very pro Second Amendment. Don't you see how authentic this is? Look at me in my like cool plaid, and maybe I hit that target, maybe I didn't, but this was edited to make it look like I did. Isn't that awesome? You're a doctor, so like pick issues where your packaging matches. Trump was so good at that. He wore a tie everywhere. Like he just like really sold himself as a businessman. And like Dr. Oz is trying to sell himself as a hunter.
It's stupid. I just think it is incredibly notable that when listing his endorsements to prove his conservative credentials, Dr. Oz lists the host of Celebrity Apprentice, a contestant on Dancing with the Stars, and Ted Nugent. Trump and Dr. Oz are very similar in profile in the sense that they have a deep, long-standing relationship with a certain demographic of television viewers. But Trump did not run a fake ad like this with him shooting guns in 2016 because he knew he would look fucking stupid doing it. Dr. Oz, he looks idiotic. He looks like he has never touched a gun. He looks just incredibly uncomfortable.
To me, it clearly articulates the Trump endorsement issue, which is it's not enough that Trump likes you. You actually have to embody the qualities that people have come to expect from the Trump acolytes. And I don't think Dr. Oz actually does that, even though in this ad, he's trying very, very hard to do that.
Our next guest is co-founder of MeidasTouch, Ben Meiselas.
We'd like you to keep your promise to us, if you please, sir.
And now I've got the #1 miracle in a bottle to burn your fat. It is the new Miracle Berry. Lightning in a bottle. The miracle of the year. It's raspberry ketone, sea buckthorn, alpha cyclodextrin, green coffee bean extract, yacon syrup, red palm oil, Garcinia cambogia. It's a miracle flower. This miracle pill, brand new miracle.
Do you believe that there's a miracle pill out there?
There's not a pill that's going to help you long-term lose weight and live the best life without diet and exercise.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
He's completely changed his positions on just about every issue.
At this point, Bill Cosby is a more credible TV doctor.
I know you know how much power you have. You are very powerful.
If you are really great and powerful, you'll keep your promises.
Physicians say Dr. Oz is a quack and a charlatan.
The only thing that people like Dr. Oz care about is themselves.
You're a very bad man.
Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
I mean, just devastating. What was your strategy behind this? Who were you targeting? How's the reception been to this video?
The reception has been great. It's garnered over 4.1 million views on digital. And it's been replayed over and over again by MSNBC and other TV commentators. This is who Dr. Oz is. He's someone who has lied his entire career. Not only do you go through each one of the lies that he does, but then when he speaks in front of the congressional audience, his tune completely changes, which is something that we see over and over again with a lot of people who espouse this MAGA extremism. It's why they want to destroy our judiciary and destroy our institutions, because when they have to sign an under oath declaration declaration or testify, they all of a sudden invoke their Fifth Amendment rights or run from the hills or dismiss their case. And then obviously we wanted to inject humor into it as well. And so framing this about the Wizard of Oz and Dr. Oz and playing off that to give it that sense of humor so that you could also very gently and delicately, kind of hide the medicine of the real serious point that we're trying to make here.
Over at MeidasTouch, you guys spend a lot of time thinking about how to make content go viral. What's your process for that? Is there a secret sauce? Is it trial and error?
It needs to tell a story, and that story has to have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and you have to tell it in a 2-minute period to a 5-minute period. For the content to go viral, it has to be good. The edits have to be good. It has to make sense, but really it's that storytelling that takes the viewer on this arc, and they leave with the conclusion, bam, this guy's a bad guy. The tone has to be there, and then what's that message that we leave people with? So they leave feeling like, got it.
In my mind, this ad is the sweet spot where it has all the elements of virality. It gets people who already feel a certain way about Dr. Oz or Jon Fetterman to share that content, to give it the engagement the algorithms need to show it to more people. But the message in it is actually designed not to make people who already hate Dr. Oz feel better about themselves, but to make people who may not know anything about Dr. Oz learn something that would be a very damaging piece of information. And if you can get an effective persuasion message embedded in a piece of viral content, like that is a sweet spot. I thought that you guys nailed it with this one. Look, the internet is awash in content. There are a million things happening at any one time. I walked around on this planet for 5 months without having any idea that Dr. Oz had filmed this absurd crudité video. Just pure ignorance. So if you want to avoid missing great content, great Democratic ads, ridiculous Republican ads, then you have to subscribe to this channel. You have to, you say it with me now, smash the subscribe button. Don't do it for me, do it for you. Our next guest is former Republican strategist Tim Miller.
Now that Jon Fetterman claims to be recovering, let's pull back his hoodie and examine what's in his head. Looks like he has some screws loose. What's this? Fetterman wants to release 1/3 of all prisoners. That's crazy! Spend more tax dollars, everything will cost more. That's nuts. Slow energy production, gas prices will skyrocket. That's ridiculous. Socialized medicine? Where do you get these crazy ideas? Now it makes sense. Better close it up. Jon Fetterman is crazier than you think.
This ad is what goes for clever among the decrepit group of political ad consultants who have been making television ads for the last 30 years. But what do you think of the ad?
That's a bad ad. I don't think any money was put behind that ad. I think this is a crazy, kind of social media thing / consultant driven thing / whatever. I mean, the bong is ridiculous, right? It's like a bong comes out of his head. Being pro legalization of pot is one of the best things Fetterman has going for him.
I just looked at the polling on this, and it's 47% of Republicans nationwide support legalizing marijuana for recreational and medical use. So it's I'm not really sure who your audience is with that, but
it's an old white guy who did this ad, and he's like, ooh, a bong. And you can just imagine this person. So I don't think that's going to work at all. This whole notion that Fetterman is like a Bernie whatever, not only do I think that is not going to work, I think it might hurt them, because there is still that Bernie Trump overlap on the other side of the horseshoe. So Fetterman is playing to that crowd in a lot of ways. So I don't think that helps. The criminal justice stuff that comes out in kind of the middle of the ad, you can imagine somebody writing a better ad with some of the material that was in the middle that might dent Fetterman's momentum a little bit. But right now that was just,
yeah, it is throwing everything against the wall to see what'll stick.
With Oz, who is so weird, he's wearing the tucked in shirt into dress pants, can't understand how to buy a veggie tray. I just don't think that the weirding of Fetterman is going to work. And I don't know if Oz has the stomach for this, because I think he wants to still be a mainstream TV star after all this. I think the only way to go at the suburban voters is just hardcore crime and race baiting, frankly, message against him. And you could see a hint of that in the middle of the ad.
Yeah, and no one who is undecided in this race can recognize a animated rendition of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in an ad. It is just, you have full Twitter brain if you think that's going to be
be an effective piece of content. Thanks for watching these ads and videos with us. If there's anything you'd like us to break down, please let us know in the comments. See you all next time.